What we're doing right now is removing surface rust from this rotor. Just using some, I think this is 1500 grit sandpaper. Just used leftover stuff I already had. This is the backside. I already sanded it down and removed the surface rust from it. So now we're gonna hit this side, get rid of the rest of it, throw it on the wheel, and throw it on the bike. So there you go, guys. Finished product. Gotta get this thing dried off and stick it back in on the bike. All right, guys. So another teachable moment. Putting the wheel back on. Putting the axle through, putting the brake caliper on, all of that type of stuff, man. It gets to be a little bit overwhelming, especially when you're trying to do it by yourself, trying to hold the wheel up, put the axle in, make sure the brake caliper doesn't move. A matter of fact, it's a little bit difficult just putting the wheel inside of the swing arm with the caliper on, with the chain on, and all of that stuff. So we want to show you guys a method that I use that kind of helps me out. I have a 4x4 right here, and I put the wheel on the 4x4, and while the bike is on the jack stands, the 4x4 kind of almost puts the axle completely lined up with that hole that it needs to go into. So I'm gonna show you guys how I do that. Unfortunately, I can't show you both sides at the same time, but as a matter of fact, I'm gonna show you from this side. All right, so this side may be a better option for me to show you because it's a little bit more difficult on this side. Anyway, probably should have cleaned that, but you know, it's not gonna be very visible, so whatever. So start off, put the caliper, the caliper and the brake pads around the rotor. Try to make sure you have this thing straight up and down. Get the outside, part of that lip started on the inside of the swing arm over here. On the other side is what I just did. And basically doing the same thing over here. So that way it's completely inside the swing arm now. So I just take the block, take the wheel, slide everything forward. Try to let the wheel spin. That's not a problem. You actually want the wheel to spin when you're doing this. And then you come back to this side. Oh, didn't get the caliper now all the way. Up too high. So if you're up too high, bring it back a little bit. Cause normally I start off with this thing on the edge like that. So that way I can still kind of move it back and forth. So once you get it inside and it's lined up, I have the caliper in its slot, give it a little tug to make sure. Come back, grab my axle. Then you just lift a hair, or you can use the wood to do this part. Actually, I didn't have to lift it at all, it was already on there. Take that chain, wrap it around, and once you get this thing started, man, you just slide the axle in, and there you go. Easy peasy. Hopefully this method helps you. I'm just showing you what works for me. It may work for you. No guarantees in that department, but yeah, that's pretty much my method for putting the rear wheel along with the brake caliper, the axle, all of that good stuff. That's what your boy does to get everything lined up. So before we go any further, you probably have noticed the yellow tire letters that are on the bike. And honestly, man, I've never dealt with these before. This is my first time, and I ran across these. The people had pretty good reviews about the actual, decals themselves. The only complaint that I heard were people weren't very pleased with the glue and complained about the letters, peeling off. So I ordered them anyway because they were cheap. And if the biggest gripe was the glue, I already had a game plan for that. So what I did, I went and got myself some of this. It's Gorilla Glue gel, the super glue gel. And the benefit of it being a gel, man, is that it doesn't run. It's not watery. So when you're putting it on the back of the tire letters, it's going to stay where you put it. But when I did use this Gorilla Glue gel, some of these letters, like, bruh, if you make a mistake putting these things on with this glue, good luck getting it off. I put a letter on here and I realized that it was up too high, and I tried to immediately remove it to reposition it. As I was trying to remove it, I saw the rubber being pulled away from the tire, but I know it wasn't from the stickers, from the letters, because they're yellow on both sides. They don't have any black to it. So when I was trying to pull it back, like, stuff looked like melted cheese, man. It was pulling the rubber. Up. So I'm pretty confident these things are gonna stick on here pretty well. Plus, I got the tires mounted on the wheels yesterday. I had the letters put on the tires before I had the tires put on the rims. The reason that I did that is because if they're able to hold up to that tire machine, pressing on them and basically rolling over them, and they didn't peel up, not a single one of them peeled up. They got, a little dirty and a little ugly, stuff I can rub off, but not a single letter peeled up anywhere, man. So if you're doing tire letters, man, I recommend Gorilla Super Glue Gel. Some parts are going to be gloss black, and I know that. So I went ahead and got some of the stuff powder coated gloss black. I even paint some of the parts that I, envision being black. I went ahead and painted those. Pegs and brackets are all gloss black. On to the next step for putting this bike back together, which will more than likely be putting the pegs, the footrest, the brakes, all of that little stuff on. finally reached the end of this episode. Hope you guys finally get to see what direction that I'm taking this bike. There's been a lot of ups and downs in the process of doing this build. Recently we had a storm come through, and because of that storm I lost a lot of the footage that I had recorded building this bike. I pieced together what bits and pieces that I had. I lost portions, not super important parts of it, but still I lost portions of it. If you see stuff that pops up on the bike and we didn't walk through it in the video, it was probably part of that stuff that was lost. I backed up some of that stuff like with my cloud account, but some of it was actually saved to my hard drive, and I have to delete some of these videos and make space for future videos, and that's kind of where I am now. So hopefully you guys got to see a lot of good stuff to help you out, especially like putting that rear wheel on. And like I said in the beginning, maybe you'll start seeing this thing come together a little bit more. That's kind of the goal right now. But same thing with that rear passenger peg. That was the original peg that was on the bike when I bought it. So after I didn't even notice it was been when I sent it off for powder coat or when I got it back from powder coating. I've already ordered the new peg for it, and I don't think that I'll get it powder coated because it's really not worth me just taking that trip for one part. So the same way you saw me strip those swing arm spools, I'll just strip that thing and paint it gloss black. Because the one that I ordered, I'm pretty sure it was still factory, so it was that silver color. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that with rattle can paint, because as I said, this channel is dedicated to saving money while building these bikes, and also proving a lot of people wrong with, you know, common myths about what you can and can't do when it comes to rebuilding motorcycles. So hopefully you guys got to see a little bit more progress. You get to see kind of where we're going with this thing. I think I'm gonna end this video on that note, guys. So next series, we will start putting this bike back together with the fairings. Hope to see you guys then. So until the next episode, guys, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll catch you on the next one. Till then, I'll let your boy.